I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. For today's review, we're going to check out something special, the Reptile Cloud 149. It is one of the cheapest Cinewhoops out there. It's 3 and 4S capable, and it has a 4-bolt top plate, which I love, and a GoPro mount in the front. It is not TPU, however. It is also an XT60 in the back and a wheelbase of 149 millimeters on this frame, and it looks like it's checking in right at 3 millimeters for that bottom plate. It is 3K carbon fiber and 2 mounting options on here, which is also pretty nice. 30 by 30 and 20 by 20 stack options. And you have stickers in the front, durable prop guards. They are injection molded prop guards, a 1200 TVL camera in the front right here, which very similar to some of the more expensive cameras. Non-TPU mount, which I talked about before, but it fits the Hero 7. Not totally sure if it fits the 8. 3-inch dowel props on here. Those are working quite well and are quieter than a lot of the other Cinewhoops out there for some reason. It might be these molded ducts, but I had a fear that those would break, and they stayed intact during this test. 1407 SpeedyBs are the ones I have. They also have the GEP RC motors. The SpeedyB version is a little bit cheaper, I believe. We'll put both links down below. You can decide which one you'd like to get. 3 bolts holding that duct on and 4 on the bottom of the motor to the frame. And for the stack, we have a 500 milliwatt VTX with active working smart audio, so that's great. It's already set up for your sticks and ready to go. F4 flight controller on here, and also we're running 20 amp BL Heli ESCs on this stack. Actually very good for 4S. You also have a TPU bumper in the back, which is nice for hard mounted pagoda antenna, but it also flexes and gives, so if you crash, it's not going to break off. Let's go ahead and put it on the scale and see what kind of weight we get. 232 grams. One of the lighter Cinewhoops out there, you guys. And with a 4S 1300, 399 grams. Total takeoff weight. With the GoPro edition, it's going to get us up to 511 grams. So that would be your total package takeoff weight. So let's go ahead and do the FPV flight test. Let me show you some GoPro footage first. Let's just start out. Look at this. This looks like it was shot by someone else. I'm sorry. Is this my video? Whose video is this? Because this looks ultra smooth and ultra nice. And I have to tell you guys, I did PID tune this for you. So what you're seeing on here might not be the same thing that the other reviewers experienced, because I totally changed the PID tune on this from start to finish, P, I's, and the D's. So what you're seeing here is absolutely all my tune. And you are seeing some GoPro footage on here as well. But I'm also going to show you that 1200 TVL camera. And it looks okay. What's cool about it is that it gets dark. There's a lot of clouds out today. So I have cloud cover and then I have some sunshine. And it's sort of a spring Oregon type of weather. But what's neat about that is that you're going to see what this camera looks like versus the GoPro in a sort of an overcast condition, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and go out further now, and let's get into the fun side of Cinewhoops. Getting out there and slowly exploring your environment. That's what it's all about with these Cinewhoops, because I've said it before, it's kind of like flying an aircraft carrier. It's very slow. If you are in the mindset of like flying a 5-inch race quad and then you fly one of these, it just feels like it's a some type of party boat compared to a 5-inch race quad. It's very slow, very controlled, and that's why we call them whoops, a Cinewhoop, because it feels like a giant whoop in the air. Very beautiful, slow pans, and I don't even want to talk during this pan. This is a really nice pan. And the other interesting thing today was that there was about a 10 to 15 mile an hour breeze. And I'm still able to hold a nice, smooth GoPro footage lens on the front of this quad. It's just really breathtaking. You can almost see Mount St. Helens off in the distance there. And why don't we go ahead and descend and go closer down to these little estuaries right through here. And let's get in closer to the environment. And again, what's so cool about this is that you can get in really close, and you can literally fly between bushes and trees. Because you have prop guards, you can kind of push your way through things and get away with shots that you normally wouldn't try with a regular 5-inch without prop guards. And that's the reason that most people are buying these. But I think Also, probably one of the best things about this particular whoop is it's one of the cheaper ones out there, and I have a handful of them. The Bumblebee, the Taycan, I've got the Chaser 138, but I didn't go places with those particular Cinewhoops that I did with this one. This one was a little cheaper, so I felt like I could get out there and take some more risks with it. But the nice thing is that the components all held up. I also tested a mild amount of freestyle for you guys. I did some flips and some hard stuff with it, and I didn't get any washout with a GoPro or without a GoPro. Since these are the smaller version of the motors on this particular model, you can get a little bit longer flight time in the 8-minute realm. Tree exploration also, no problem. This is with the GoPro skirting through the trees right here, making some of the smallest gaps and still looking ultra smooth. I'm really feeling it. So now I have my FPV view on the bottom left for you guys. Can you see what that 1200 TVL camera looks like? And it's a no-name camera, but it did actually pretty well out here. I'm flying behind this chain link fence, and typically I will fail safe right there as well as completely lose video on most of my cameras and my VTX setups. But right now I'm running it in 200 milliwatt, and certain spots out in the field there is an antenna on that pump house, so it does have a little bit of a feedback in certain areas. I'm not sure what type of antenna that is, but it does cause interference sometimes. But I think that the video looks pretty good, and this is where, if you notice, there's been a light shift. The clouds are coming in now, and it's starting to get overcast because they're covering up the sun above us. And look how well the camera's doing. The GoPro, you can see it's dark right in front of the quad, but check this out. We're gonna go in super deep right here. Now, almost completely lost video out of there. And your first instinct when you lose complete video should be to power out. Go ahead and hit the throttle and come up instead of dropping to the ground. You might save your quad a lot of times with doing that particular technique. The reason that you go up is because it'll give you a clear line of sight to your goggles, and it'll bring the video back, and you'll be able to continue on your flying. But this was so much fun. I didn't see a whole lot of birds out in the field today. I think I saw one, and sometimes we'll surprise something out in the field. There's also some coyotes walking around out here, and I've seen a few coyotes in a couple of my videos. But let's go back in there. Let's get deep back into the brush again. And this really shows off that camera, the 1200 TVL camera. I can kind of see where I'm going. Now, I can see the main part of the trees, but I'm not too worried because I have ducks and I can kind of push through things. I've ran directly into branches and it just kind of bounces back or pushes off the branches. That's a really interesting sort of trait of Cinewhoops. They will push branches out of the way unless they go down into your duck, which honestly has never happened to me, which is cool. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do a giant loop, and I didn't realize how big of a loop I was doing, but I bounced off the ground right there, but I made it back around. And I did loop this over and over out in the field for you guys, and I can honestly say that it didn't have any tumble or washout on this particular frame, which is awesome. So I'm super stoked with this one, and especially for the price. It did just as good as the $400 DJI version. So for the guys out there looking for something at a decent price, this is the one to get if you're on a budget. Absolutely, it is well worth the money. I think now that it has the tune on here, it's flying great. It's very durable. I was afraid that I was going to break these prop guards, and they never did. And if you want to replace it with the 30x30 stack later, it has that option as well. So I think it's kind of loaded down with options. I like the top mount battery, and I love the video that it came home with this particular quad. So experiment, play around with this quad, try some different props. I'm going to put some props down below for you guys that you can try out. Some of the gem fan props, probably a little bit smoother than the dowel props that I'm running on here right now, but extremely versatile, great price, on a budget. Absolutely, this one surprised me. So I'll put some CLI link down below for you guys for my PID tune. 2 thumbs up for this one, especially for the price, the durability, and the video that I brought home, guys. I'm Justin Davis. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.